friend, welcome. Master over your emotions. Getting sick of being on the emotional roller coaster. Feeling like everyone is against you, especially those who are closest to you. Today, we're going to be talking about dissecting this whole emotional situation thing, how your feelings are getting hurt, why your feelings are getting hurt, and master your emotions. Now, feelings. We have emotional feelings, angry, sad, happy, etc., etc., etc. You have vibe feelings as far as when you're picking up something in the atmosphere. And you also have physical feelings, which I didn't put down, in which someone pinched you, ouch, like you would feel that. And you also have intuitive feelings, which is like that gut feeling. And it's like a combination of an inner outer feeling, but it's not an emotional feeling, and it's not like a physical feeling. So all of these feelings combined, especially if we don't know how to interpret them, can make us have an emotional reaction to them. And so this is the thing in how we're indicating our emotions, because if we don't have an idea of where these emotions are coming from, and it's just like we're quick to react, we're quick to react, there are other things that are mastering our emotions and not us. So we want to look at this intuitive situation. I kind of see this intuitive feeling as more of a truthful type of feeling, because it's connected to a gut feeling. And this gut feeling will either prepare you for something or warn you of something. And if we continue to ignore this feeling, the consequences of that, you can either put yourself somewhere that'll lead you to the ending of your life. It'll quickly be the consequence of ending your life, or it will cost you something precious. So we want to learn how to follow that gut feeling, and I will go a little more into that gut feeling later on into this. But keep in mind, our intuitive feeling is something that is within us. No matter what we believe in, if we are paying attention to it, it's letting us know something. So again, I'm kind of seeing this as a little more truthful than being like an emotional feeling and even like physical feeling or a vibe type of a thing, because it's letting you know some stuff. And so how are our feelings getting hurt? Now, I want us to kind of glimpse at this as like a problem and a solution. The problem here is the story that we tell ourselves, the story that we're believing that others are telling about us, and our expectations. Now, looking at this solution, because now we're working on shifting the thinking. What is the story that we're telling ourselves? Because we have to look at, what are we saying? What are we believing in? What are we looking at as law? And also with what others are saying, because we can look at that as truth or being a lie, and this can either way create some kind of emotional thing, which can be a distraction. And what did we expect? Because when we put out on the table what it was that we expected and see how it didn't play out like that, this will kind of help us look at, now, why are our feelings hurt again? Or more so, how are our feelings hurt? Because we're going to get to that why shortly. So this is showing us what we are paying attention to. Because if we're focused on what the problem is, here we have that list in the story we tell ourselves, what we're believing that others are saying, and our expectation. So if we're focused on these things and stuff is not working out how we want it to work out, like we got a problem. Or if it's working out exactly how we're working out and everything is just joyous, yeah, friends, sometimes that can be a distraction too, if it's our minds and our desires are in the wrong place. we want to start having the hard talks with ourselves. And in us having the hard talks with ourselves, we are looking at the truth, friend. Okay? So in us looking at the truth, sometimes, first of all, in us looking at the truth, it's like bottom line, what is being said? Let's remove our emotions and put it over here. And what's really being said? Is something being said where, okay, we need to work on this, or this is something that we should actually consider? Or is this some stuff that's like, hey, I'm actually saying some things that's trying to hurt your feelings, and I'm not really saying anything in which we can work on this problem or something, but I'm just trying to hurt your feelings. And so sometimes in this thing, and in us getting to the bottom line, and also in us having this hard talk with self, sometimes the truth may hurt. This is why we want to get in the habit of seeking the truth, because it be a thing like, I kind of look at it like my tattoos, like, I know this thing gonna hurt, but give it to me. Give it to me. See how I got this smile on my face? And so it's a thing where it's like, you want it. This is what you're expecting. You're expecting the truth. And so the other part that we have to look at is sometimes it may not be the truth. And we're hurt. We're hurt by the lies. We're hurt by, I can't believe that you're so and so and so and so, and you're lying on me like that. So where do we stand? This is where we look at why your feelings get hurt. Simple answer. Simple answer. Because you let it. Because you allow it to happen. But you know, of course, I'm going to go a little bit deeper than that, because I'm not just going to leave it there. I got pages of notes. And looking at the extended version of this is going on to what we're telling ourselves. What are we believing? And our expectations. Because we love a person, that's just where it really hurt, because we got those people that we are intimately close to and we love them. And then we have those people that are just in close proximity, and because we see them every day, and I mean those people that we love can also be in close proximity and seeing them every day. But in other situations where you're constantly seeing the same people and you're spending a lot of time with them, and they may not be close to you intimately, but they're close to you in close proximity. It's like here we have people of closeness, and they're hurting you. They're hurting you. And this is where we're taking this to why. Why? What is it that we're expecting? How is it that we're seeing these people? And it's like, yeah, this is where we have to redirect our focus, because again, if we're looking at, oh, we known them all these years, or I can't believe they were talking about me like that, we're looking at the wrong thing, friend. Because I mean, let me tell you something. I'm about to, you know how that little lizard thing be talking about how he about to tell you how you about to save on your car insurance. Let me tell you how I'm about to save you a whole bunch of money on going to school. I'm not trying to stop you from going to school. Learn all that you can learn. But I'm about to save you some money, because one of the best things I learned in undergrad, one of the best things, I'll never forget it. And it took hours. It's so profound, yet so simple. People are going to be people. Doesn't that sound so simple? I mean, I gotta get my coffee on this. I've been drinking water. It's time to grab the coffee. That sounds so simple, but once I let that marinate over the years, it was like, especially in going into psychology, when you study the psychology of man, now we go into the psychology of man, the heart of man, the spirituality of man, and all these different dynamics of man. It's like, wow, you got all these different variations, and then people's desires. People are just going to be people. Take a sip of more. People are just going to be people. So when we put our expectation, part of it anyway, because baby, you don't put your whole expectation there. But when we have an expectation of people being who they're going to be, baby, that's one knockoff there. Like, what your feelings hurt for? What your feelings hurt for? They been showing you we got the wipe them his eyes off. So we can see, wipe your eyes off so we can see better who people are showing us who they are. And it's just like, let them be who they gonna be, you know what I'm saying? That's why your feelings hurt. I mean, we learn from this situation. We learn from these things. And let us also not forget, bruh, sis, we done hurt people's feelings. We done hurt their feelings intentionally and sometimes not intentionally, you know what I'm saying? So but this is why we're here, because we're learning to be better so that we can do better. Because that doing just to have something, baby, this ain't a game just to gain results. No, this is about life. This is about life and being transformed. Amen. Amen. So when your feelings stay hurt, this is something to look at. When your feelings stay hurt, it is a distraction and a tool of manipulation. So we're going to get a little bit deep into that. If a person has control of your emotions, friends, family, let us be reminded, because I oftentimes forget what the heck the title of this video is, but I ain't forgot this time. When these people be like that, and they got control of your emotions, baby, they mastering over your emotions. Ain't nobody got time for that, auntie, whatever your name is, when that house was catching on fire and you was going to get your coat. God bless you. Because ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Because it's a distraction and it's a tool of manipulation. And how we go about this manipulation tactics, especially in manipulation and using to hurt your feelings. And I mean, these just a few. And I mean, today's video is brought to you by someone trying to hurt feelings. And it's like, what can we learn from this? So this is from example. And in looking at what happened in the situation, it's like, now let's dissect this and how can we use this? And it was like, voila, we could use it for a video. And this is the very thing, and how we're not allowing these things to keep us distracted, but using it like T.I. motivation. We're not even going to get into them lyrics, but motivation. Anywho, rumors and past person talk. Anytime somebody is trying to get at you, well, you used to be this, or how you were doing this, or I know secrets about you and which people were talking about you. Baby, even though I got this later on down in the notes, we gonna start early. Baby, we getting gangsta on them. So what? What's your point? I don't care if that person was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? You listening to this video right now, you done made up your mind and making some decisions and going about this differently. So I don't care what they say. I don't care what happened. We being working on and being a new person. So number two, title and position. You can use this with anything, with family, jobs, relationships, etc., etc., etc. A lot of times it's used to when it gets to hurting your feelings situation. Either instill fear or instill guilt. Ain't nobody got time for that, because why? It's a distraction. And if we're not working on a solution and it's nothing but that jaw jacking, man, let them jaw jack them jaws elsewhere. Because what? I can't hear you. I can't. Okay. Because ain't nobody got time for that. We ain't got no feelings. Oh, but when we need to, we have them, but not for that. 3, giftings. Now, friend, we get all into this intuitive situation. We have to be aware of those who are so quick to give, because a lot of those people, especially when it's like groups, and it could be a brother and sister type of thing, cousin, family situation, work situation, like this is brought upon in layers. When it's like a group kind of a thing, especially when it's I can give all of you all everything. Just like I have the power to give, I also have the power to take back or not give. So if we're looking, oh, I want my battery to die. If we're looking at this thing of how we're being rejected and our feelings are getting hurt, distraction. It's a tool of manipulation. Like, okay, so what? You're not the giver of all givers. Give on. People, God bless you. I hope you have the ability to be able to keep continuously giving. The pedestal talk. With this pedestal talk, now, friend, I get on one side, I may be talking about your feelings being hurt. Same thing with that giving situation. If you all caught up in your emotions when I'm putting you on a pedestal and, oh, I feel so good and I'm on top of the world. When I get ready to yank that pedestal down and now you on the ground, that's how your feelings get hurt. So it's like we have to learn how to be neutral in these spots. And it's like, yeah, thank you. No matter how they saying it, thank you. You ain't trying to snatch your pedestal down. Thank you, because it's motivation. Thank you for being on top of your job. Let me continue because I don't want my battery to die. So these things where we can work on this stuff alone. We can definitely work on this stuff alone and get all the self-help books you want to. You'll gain some type of understanding and it'll show you some things you didn't know. But at the same time, when it comes to applying these things and you feel that you're in a situation where you're super triggered and don't know how to deal with that because it didn't give you the blueprint on how to deal with that specific information, this is when we get to leaning on our own understanding, because those self-help books cannot help personally in those type of things. So we're going to tap into this deeper gangster thing because I mentioned it earlier. I want my battery to die. And we're looking at this intuition. And I'm looking at this intuition thing because here in this emotional and this vibe thing, a lot of times that'll come up, but this ain't got nothing to do when we're on this mission. Because when we're in alignment with God, this is what we're working on. We're working on getting the spirit of God because we want the spirit of God to be the master of our emotions. And when we are in this relationship and are loved by him, experience this love and gain his wisdom and seek this wisdom every single day, we learn to be more sensitive to him and not to ourselves. And the minute that our feelings being hurt, that's a weakness. He gives us strength. Give him your weakness. Anytime you recognize and your feelings are hurt, this is where you're giving him your pain. On the flip side of this, hurt people hurt people. When you stay in your pain, this is how you be petty. This is how you go about constantly focusing on how you can dig a ditch for somebody else. But this is something that you fall in if this is what you're focused on. When you work on staying focused on the Lord and focused on what he's telling you and allow him to process you, this is what's going to transform you to every time your feelings get hurt. Because it may happen here and there, but it gets less and less. And this is a place in us getting in the spiritual walk and seeking Christ, studying his ways and talking to him about his ways. And being transformed in this thing, because in dealing with peopling and not putting our expectations in people, but in putting our expectations in the Lord and looking at the Lord and doing all of our work for the Lord, because this shifts how and why we go about doing things and remaining faithful in this being of love. I encourage you to read and seek the Lord every single day, because this is a transformation thing. This isn't a thing about you right or you wrong. This is a transformation thing of love. And when we understand and get to love what the Lord is sharing with us, we ain't got time to be offended about what somebody talking about, how they this, that, and the other, what they think about us, no matter how long the time period is, no matter how much we love them, because we'll learn to love them regardless, but also learn to protect our peace and remain in this peace of the Lord by fighting spiritual warfare with what God is equipping us with, because that intuition is a gift of God. And when we learn to nurture that and allow others to water it and let God give us the increase, suddenly now you'll start to see the stuff will start clicking. You'll hear his word. And right at those very moments when you're going through situations and somebody's trying to hurt your feelings or whatever, you're not being distracted by what they're talking about, but you're keeping in constant communication with the Lord, and he's giving you a right now moment. and a right now word and how to go about operating in this thing. Because it ain't got nothing to do with feelings. It's about what needs to be done, not done, said, not said, what he wants you to do. So I definitely encourage you, because in knowing where to keep your mind focused at, I encourage you to listen to people who speak about developing your purpose and operating in excellency, because it helps you to keep your mind on track, because all these distractions may be going on, but friend, you got a mission, a purpose, stuff to be focused on, where people may be caught up in their feelings, but you ain't got time to be caught up or all up in that stuff. Work through your feelings with the Lord. He helps you with all of those things. He talks to you with it, and he sends his people to help counsel you and to speak to you in love and truth. I love you guys. God loves you even more. Experience it, because it's a dope experience. And then with that feeling stuff, the feeling that he gives you is discernment. And it's totally, man, the stuff, he's mind-blowing. Experience it. I love you. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.